It's the 16th of August and it's 10:20 p.m. So I finished today's reading. That's about it. If I remember correctly, today we're already over halfway there. I am becoming progressively a little more nervous. So I know I realize now that I don't have that much time anymore. I think I think I need to really finish more chapters per day. So I really have more of a buffer towards the end to review weak concepts, to really have enough time for the Q bank. It's kind of I guess it's a type of dilemma because you don't have infinite time to prepare for this exam, but so just doing questions without having done the prior reading is to some extent useless because then you're just guessing your way through the questions and it has no real learning. You don't take away a learning effect from that. On the other hand, doing questions is so key because not only do some question types just keep coming back, but you develop it's how you develop sort of like an instinct for the right answer, or perhaps at least the wrong answers. And in the end, it comes down to test taking strategies, right? You need to, I mean, it's a multiple choice exam, and you have to choose the best answer. And of course, it's great if you've read a lot and you know a lot of things, but test taking or doing the questions themselves is different. You have to. So sometimes we get longer cases, and you have to understand the case before you get to the actual question. And some facts are just, I don't know. You get a kind of a feel for what they want to know the more questions you do. So it is really crucial to do enough questions and go back and redo the ones I did wrong. So I really hope I can do that. I guess the reason I'm nervous is I've got at least 25 more days. I need at least 25 more days for reading. At least. Assuming I get it done in 25 days, I've got about 23 days, I think. 23, something like 20, just about a little bit more than 20 days to do questions. And that's not an awful lot. That's just about 3 weeks of just doing questions. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many questions I can do a day. I'm wondering. I think I'd say I really concentrate. I can get maybe 400 or 500 a day, and I think that's a lot. So each question, I think the time allotted for each question is 2.5 minutes. Obviously, it doesn't take 2.5 minutes to do each question. But then again, I'm gonna be also review the wrong questions and stuff, and I'm not just gonna just guess if I don't know it. I'm gonna really try my best to kind of sort out the wrong answers. And so, let's say I do 400 questions, and I've got 20 days. What is that? I can't do the math, man. It's too late. 8,000 questions. In a sense, I don't know. Is that enough? Um, might be. I think there are more questions than 8,000. I think there's something like 11,000 questions out there that I can do. Uh, it might just be enough because until now I've done about 4 to 5,000. So if I get 8,000 in the last 3 weeks, I could actually finish all the questions in the QBank once. And I mean, I'm hoping to do uh, some questions twice and some of them thrice. And I'm also hoping to do some reading again on my week concepts and reviewing difficult chapters, looking at maybe the pharmacology again or the pathology for the for the real, like, the details, right? So I don't think it's realistic to think that I can actually do 400 questions a day with the actual reading I also want to do, right? So maybe 300, 6,000. I suppose in that case, I could be focusing on like the most recent questions, and then if I have time, go back to the earlier questions because the questions do get harder. I notice the ones from early 2000s are a little bit more basic and less detail oriented, more like concept oriented. Asking for the pathophysiology, not as specifically for the the I don't know, like the really just like how much or what kind of drug in what dosage or whatever, or what the reabsorption mechanism is and stuff. That they don't seem to ask that, and that seems to come towards the end. So that would be more relevant for me. So yeah, we did get a blueprint for this year. So, which seems to suggest that neurology is going to be a little have more questions or than the last few years. So I really do want to focus a little bit more on neurology. Just take some time to really look at the concepts and get that right, especially like Parkinson's disease, Huntington's disease and stuff, and really get like the pathophysiology right. So I guess it's a little bit worrying because I have to admit that the first 50 days weren't spectacular. I haven't gone back and looked at the actual like the average mark I gave myself, but it does feel like almost every second day I'd give myself like a 60 or 70, rarely over 80%. So I do think I'm probably like low 70s, maybe high 60s. That's really bad. It's terrible. So I'm really hoping that that the stress and that the nervousness will kind of be that I can channel that energy, so to speak, into more effective studying. Also seeing that I don't have really that much time to waste, I think I'll have to also limit myself to perhaps half a day off, like seeing friends. I can't just go out and see friends like 3 to 4 times a week and spend like half the afternoon or something playing soccer, eating out, and stuff. That just can't. It can't work like that. I'm starting to realize also that I've wasted a lot of time, which bothers me personally, I guess, because I mean, you're always wiser in retrospect, right? And I'm hoping that I'm wise enough now, looking back at the last 50 days, to really use the time that I've got left appropriately. So I won't be looking back on the next 50 days with regret. So it's kind of a longer video log today, because kind of looking back on the last 50 days and then looking forward to the next 50 days and hope and kind of my plan. So it can still be done. I can still totally get through the study plan and do all that, and hopefully also study to my heart's content. I also have realized that I have to be a little bit more careful in terms of time usage and discipline. So hoping that I can keep myself accountable to that. All right, that's it for